Okay, today we continue with our class, Hilchot Talmud Torah, laws of learning of Torah. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So, we continue with our Sefer Chofetz Chaim, and our big topic is the same. Toel is personal information. Toel, as we said, it's for constructive purpose. Okay. And today's topic, teachers. So last time we discussed lawyers and therapists. Today's teachers. We have already detailed the laws of Lashon Hara as they apply to teachers who wish to discuss his or her students with others. An additional concern for a teacher is that of Gilui Sod, sharing information that was related in a confidence by a student. So one thing is about that we discussed before. If teacher is allowed, let's say, he's allowed to listen for Lashon Hara in order to help the student. Okay, so we said there is no problem. It's for constructive purpose. Now we're talking about this student told this teacher some secret, whatever secret it is. Maybe what's going on in the house. Maybe he's getting abused. Maybe, I don't know, like some things. So okay, so of course the teacher promised not to say, or he's expected not to say it, as we discussed before. Okay, so what to do? A common situation, especially among the teacher of the younger children, is where the student divulges information concerning his family, exactly, that his parents would certainly not want anyone to know. I mean, sometimes, I don't know, people think that because their children are small and they are not, I don't know, I mean, and they do not understand many things. They sleeping, or they pretend to be sleeping. That they don't understand. At least they don't remember what was said, which is not true. So children remember what was said. And of course, I mean, maybe they don't arrive to the right conclusions, but they arrive to their own conclusion, and they can tell other people what's going on in the house. Like that's if you want to find out what's going on in that house, you come to a little child, and you start talking to him or her. They're going to tell you everything. So parents must be careful what they say in front of the child. Even they think that he's sleeping, he's in another room. Don't count that too much, right? Under no circumstances may a teacher believe such information if it is involved negativity, or if it becoming known cause, or if it is becoming known cause family harm, right? So whatever the child said. Some, as we know, that children have they can fantasize, and it's not true, but in their mind it is true. So when he's or she's telling you, it's I mean, they have no doubt that it is true 100%, but the reality is not like that. Obviously, the teacher may not relate to others what was said by the child. Moreover, the information to inform the parent of what the child said may be Rechilus, as it may cause ill will between the parents and the child, right? So he cannot even tell the parents. So what to do, it's a different story. Or anas dvarim, causing hurt through the spoken word, meaning that he's accusing parents of whatever the child said. In certain situations, it may be correct for the teacher to speak to the parents so they can caution the child not to repeat such information again. But I guess it's better to caution the parents not to say this information in front of the child. If, however, but okay, you can caution them to ask the child not to talk. Okay, see what happens. If, however, the child mentions something that is cause for alarm, the teacher's involvement may be necessary. This is especially true when information involves abuse. So if child is talking maybe in money issue, that issue, I mean he's not in a harmless way, this child, okay. So that's fine. You're not allowed to believe. But when he's talking about abuse, so again, do not believe, but be alarmed, and you as a teacher have an obligation to do investigation. The matter must be investigated, exactly, and when necessary, the proper authorities should be contacted. Okay, page 413, so this is continuation. 360, okay. When older students share personal information with the teacher may not pass the information to others. That's very serious business. If one advises a colleague or a supervisor, if one advice of a colleague or a supervisor is necessary, the student's identity should be divulged. I mean, if it's possible, sometimes it's very obvious who they're talking about. The teacher may reveal the information along with student's identity only when students disclosed facts of which Halachah requires him to inform others. This includes any medical condition or behavioral problem or which school administration should have been informed. For example, chemical abuse, imbalance. Okay. As in the case of the therapist or a lawyer, a teacher should be in contact with halachic authorities in dealing with the issue of confidentiality. Okay, so you gotta be very careful. Okay, so let's stop here. No problem. Okay, so 1 second. So we continue with Hilchot Talmud Torah. And then chapter 3, in Halachah number 6. Halachah number 6. So it says a person whose heart inspired him to fulfill this mitzvah in fitting manner and become crowned with a Torah crown should not divert his attention to other matters. He should not set this sight on acquiring Torah together with the wealth and honor simultaneously. Rather, this is the path of the Torah. Eat bread with salt, drink water in small measures, sleep on the ground, live a life of difficulty, and toil in Torah. The task is not incumbent upon you to complete, nor are you free from abstain from it. So it's, as you know, it's from Perkyos. If you have acquired such much Torah, you have acquired much reward. And that reward is commensurate with the suffering experienced. Okay, so let's go back and try to understand. Okay, from the beginning. A person whose heart inspired him to fulfill the mitzvah of the fitting man. So what is the mitzvah? So last time we were talking about so the last halacha was says first ask for the person's judgment in the world to come, center of the study of the Torah, right? So we're talking about this mitzvah. So and we said if it's one of the first questions that the person asks, so we see how important is this mitzvah, right? And especially we said study Torah for the sake of God, right? And even if you're not studying right now for the sake of God, it's going to bring you to the study. You continue whatever you do, continue studying, and it's going to bring you to the study of the Torah for the sake of God. Okay, so now it's even though it's new halacha, but it's continuation what we said before. A person whose heart inspired him to fulfill this mitzvah in a fitting manner and become crowned with the crown of the Torah should not divert his attention to other matters. Okay. Fitting manner. What does it mean? Commentary. As explained in commentary to chapter 1, Halachah 8. The Rambam's statement implies that there are two aspects of the Torah study. A, obligation to study Torah, which is incumbent upon every individual. There is established fixed time of the Torah study. And B, a commitment to devote oneself to Torah study. Has no limitations. So it's very interesting. So commentaries say that that there are two aspects of Torah study. So first, Torah aspects, it says that we must study Torah day and night, right? The Torah says day and night. What does it mean, day and night? You have to establish some time in the morning, whatever morning is for you, at whatever time is it, but it must be in the morning, and some one portion at night. So I mean, the time is of course up to every individual. Of course, the longer the better. Okay, and second is actually commitment to devote oneself to Torah study without limitation. That has no limitation. So it has no limitation. So what does it mean? So a person should not think that, let's say, he was able to study 1 hour in the morning and 2 hours at night. Let's say, right? So he said, okay, I completed my quota. I did exactly 1 hour and 1 minute in the morning and 2 hours and 7 minutes at night. So I'm a big hero, no? So that's he completed on the first part, but second part without any limitations. Meaning what? I have 15 minutes now. I have half an hour now. I was supposed to have an appointment at 6 and this person is late. So what I'm going to do? Okay, and I'm going to look at the ceiling or check the news. Now I'm going to study Torah. So that's without limitation. Try to grab any and every opportunity possible. Okay, of course you can listen to the classes. It's not necessary that you carry your books around if you're somewhere outside, but still there are ways to study Torah always. The first aspect reflects of commitment that takes into consideration man's perspective and hence is limited in scope. However, when a person views the Torah from God's perspective and appreciates its infinite nature, he will be inspired to make an unbounded commitment to the Torah study and adopt the latter approach. Okay. So you start with whatever you start. If you must start, of course, I'm not talking about people who learn here, but whoever is going to watch this lecture, so you start even from 15 minutes for 20 minutes, but it must be committed. Let's say, I don't know, at 7:30, I'm going to have 30 minutes of studying Torah. So it must be 7:30 in the morning when you study always. So you do commitment, and then Beezrat HaShem is going to bring you to the stage when say it's not enough for me. I want to do more. Okay, but these minimums you still keep, right? But your schedule still keep. You can only add, do not subtract. So okay, so let's do the sentence from the beginning. There are more commentaries. A person whose heart inspired him to fulfill the mitzvah in a fitting manner, we just described the fitting manner, and become crowned with the crown of the Torah. 31. Not the commentary to Halachah 1. So I think there we said there are 3 crowns that were given in the world. HaShem gave 3 crowns. One is crown of the kingdom, right? Kinghood, like only one person who is from the son, who is a family of the David, can be a king, right? Not other people. Okay, so I most likely, I don't want to say most likely. Okay, so we don't know who is from that family. Okay, but it's only one person. Okay, so the Kihuna Kehuna is a Kohen Gadol. Also, it's you have to be from a Kohanim, Kohen Gadol, or other Kohanim. Still, most people are not Kohanim, right? So it's limited. It's only limited to small amount of people. But crown of the Torah is open to everybody. So as we learn, it's open to. It's like Torah. That's why Torah was given in a desert. Why? Because HaShem is showing us that it's open to everybody. Whoever comes, he can get the Torah. All right. Continue. So one more time, and a person whose heart inspired to him to fulfill the mitzvah in a fitted manner and become crowned with the crown of the Torah should not divert his attention to other matters. 32. On Dvarim 6:7 speak of them. Right? The Sefer comments speak of them and not of other matters. Okay. So that's what we're trying to do, right? We have a Torah to learn, so you don't waste your time on other things. Okay. So because of course Satan is going to send you all of these very chilling things and very important things to attend, and somebody is going to call you, person that you haven't spoken for 15 years, and now they want to connect. Of course. Okay. So, but you have to be focused. It should not be said he should not set his sights to acquiring Torah together with wealth and honor simultaneously. So, let's see what they comment, and then we're going to it. For it is impossible to devote oneself to two different goals. Okay, so you want a wealth, you do wealth. You want a Torah, you do Torah. So it cannot be two at the same time. HaShem can send you wealth when you study in Torah. There is no contradiction. But when a person is trying to achieve, like actively, two things, it's not going to happen. Continue. Rather, this is the path of the Torah. Commentary. This statement and others in this Halachah, a combination of quotes from Pirkei Avos 6:4 to 17 and 5:23. So as we say, we know it's very famous Mishnah, right? Rather, it's path of the Torah. Eat bread with salt, drink water in a small measure, sleep on the ground, live with difficulty and toil in Torah. So it's very interesting. Even the water, don't drink a lot. Right? People sometimes they drink walk around with the big bottles. I'm not sure why do you need so much drink. It's like also like craziness. Say it's just water. It's not just water. It's indulgence, right? Even in water. So the Torah is very like straightforward. Eat bread with salt. Drink water in small measures, right? Sleep on the ground, live a life of difficulty, toil in Torah. 25. The Rambam does not advocate ascetic penance, right? So as we learn in Hilchot. So we're not Christians, we're not other crazy people, not monks or whatever this, like Buddhist martial or other things. No, HaShem wants us, as Rambam explained, in Hilchot Dios 3:1, so he says that we have to live normal life. You have to have a family. You have to have a house, like not house, like place to live, like normal. Have a wife, have a husband, have a job to pay your bill. Go learn, go study Torah. Go work, study Torah, and all other things. So we're not expecting that people like sleep on the ground. Nor does he necessarily stipulate that a life of difficulty. So because we explained there or in other places, so when it's a difficult life, so a person cannot concentrate on the Torah, right? So especially don't make yourself life the difficulty by yourself. HaShem is going to send you tests. That's more than enough. Don't create difficulty for yourself, right? The only allowed difficulty is to learn more Torah. So I mean, of course, you're suffering. You want to sleep. You want to do this or that. But that's allowed difficulty. But other difficulty not allowed. Right. So one more time. Nor does it necessarily stipulate the life of difficulty is prerequisite to complete involvement in a Torah study. So it could be normal. You can work and you can study Torah. There is no contradiction. However, it is often the only path through which one can attain that goal. Okay, because why? Like logically, in order to study more Torah, you would need to work less. You need to get involved in other things and worldly things less, and is like naturally you would have less like in the material world. Of course, Hashem can send you wherever He wants. There is no contradiction, but naturally you would have less, but you have to be happy with that less. Frequently, earning enough to live life of comfort takes so much time that one will not be able to devote himself from the Torah study in a fitting manner, right? Furthermore, I mean, like life of comfort, right? People want, I don't know what they want. They want a bigger house, they want a bigger apartment and pool. I don't know what they want, helicopter, whatever they want. Like, and of course, it costs more money. And now instead of living in like a few bedroom apartment, he has a huge mansion, and now he has to pay for the gardeners, and now he has to pay for a cleaning lady, and one is not enough, so it has to be a crew of 3 or 5 or 7. So and then he works. He needs more money to just to keep up with his luxurious lifestyle. Right? That's not a smart approach, right? Furthermore, indulgence in the comfort often leads person to preoccupation with own needs and desires. So after one desires come another desire. So there is like non-stop, right? Suddenly he becomes faced with an entire host of necessities, necessity in double quotes, without which he cannot continue. So now he needs all of the luxuries. He needs to go all of these crazy places, vacations, spend I don't know, many thousands dollars just on a ticket on these crazy hotels, right? But if he lives simple life, so he would be able to learn Torah. But with all of these things, I mean, he has simply no choice but continue, like just to keep up with all of these demands. Continue. The task is not incumbent upon you to complete, nor are you too free to abstain from it. Okay, 26. If a person contemplates the totality of the Torah knowledge, which there is no grasp, he may be intimidated and unwilling to begin such an undertaking. Hence, he is counseled that he is not expected to complete the study. So, I mean, if you just look at, let's say, if you have ArtScroll Talmud, you look at, like, I'm not sure how many, maybe it's 72 volumes, I think. 72, like a lot. So and then you start learning, for example, right? And you did only a few pages, and it took you so long time. And you look at how thick the book is, and it's only one of the many. So a person can get depressed and said, in 500 years I'm not going to finish this. Maybe even more. Even if I study every day, like for a few hours, I would not be able to finish it. Right, even in 20 years. So the Torah comes and tells us it's not upon you to complete it. Not this, not other things, but we strive to try to complete for sure, but it's not our goal. Our goal is continue learning every day as much as possible. That's our goal. Okay, that's so it's I think it's big discount that Hashem tells. I'm not expecting you to complete it. And plus, as we said before, every person has his own talents. And after some trying, a person was trying for 5 years and did not work. Okay, so maybe you have to minimize your Torah study like a little, not to get completely frustrated, and go into business a little, right? Not everybody are able to learn the whole day or even 5 hours or 6 hours. Okay, that's understandable. The task is not incumbent upon you to complete, nor are you free to abstain from it. So just because you say I'm not that smart, so okay, don't. It does not absolve you from learning every day. Okay, so still that does not matter. Like a person is saying, I'm not so smart, I'm not this, I'm not that. Okay, we understand that, but still you're going to be judged according to the Shulchan Aruch. Okay, but I will say it's good, but if HaShem sends you here as a Jew, right? So He sends you you send you like a person who is able to complete the whole Torah, to observe the whole Torah. Otherwise, He would not create you as a Jew, right? And same with the converse. If a person converts, he or she is expected to complete to observe the whole Torah, right? Okay, so continue. Abstain from. So okay, so on one hand, so one more time to summarize, you're not obligated to complete, and you're not allowed not to learn. You must continue learning, but you're not obligated to complete. If you have acquired much Torah, you have acquired much reward. Okay. Commentary. The Mishnah continues to explain that the reward for the righteous will be in the world to come. It is difficult to understand why Rambam emphasizes the aspect of reward when the previous Halachah stresses how one should not study the Torah for ulterior motives, including in the latter is also reward in the world to come. I'm not sure why they see it as a contradiction. I mean, the person is not studying it for reward. If you acquire much Torah, you have acquired much reward. So I'm not sure why he's saying this comment. I mean, Rambam said if person is going to study Torah, he's going to acquire much reward, period. Okay, so what is the contradiction? He's going to acquire much reward, but that's not his primary focus. My primary focus is to learn because HaShem said so. And that reward is commensurate with the suffering experience. So meaning what the smarter the person is, the more capable he is, the more free time he has. So of course, HaShem expects from that person more, right? And suffering. So and the person is work full time and the whole family and this and that, and he has only limited amount of time. So suffering is also always good. So force yourself to learn anyway. Right, and if it's difficult, the more difficult for you to learn, the more reward. So we cannot compare if a person is working full time, has a family to take care of, and maybe take care of the parents, like a lot of things going on, right? Doing kiruv, and then somebody who is I don't know, maybe in his 17, 18 years old, live with the parents. Medical insurance, this and that. He has food, he has his own room, air conditioner, does not have to pay for anything, right? So of course there is, for that person, of course there is no suffering. I mean, it's easy life, right? So of course he's learning, and a person who is trying to raise the family learning, it's the reward for this to learn, even 1 hour, that person learn 1 hour, that person is 1 hour, it's cannot compare. All right, the more suffering, the more reward. 38 commentary. In his commentary to the Mishnah, Rambam interprets this to mean you reward will commensurate with the effort invested in Torah study. I mean, that's how we also explain. Right? The more you invest in Torah study, the more reward you get. See also Halachah 12, which elaborates on the nature of the effort a person must invest in a Torah study. Okay. Torah must invest in Torah study. Okay. 1 second. In his introduction to Pirkei Avos, chapter 6, Rambam offers slightly different interpretation. A person's reward will be commensurate with the effort necessary to overcome the natural inclinations. That's I would say just a additional point. So some people love to learn Torah. They like all of these intellectual stimulations, all of the challenges, all of the questions in the Gemara, and even in Halachah. Even Halachah, it's even like some things when they go back and forth, different opinions. Some people love it. As for some people, it's very hard, right? And he has all of the natural inclination. He's lazy. He's this. He's that. And the more energy the person invests, the more reward. There is no contradiction. Okay, we finished. Any questions on what we said? Okay, no problem. So we continue with next halachah number 7. So it's chapter 3, halachah 7. Perhaps one will say, I will interrupt my study until after I gather money. That's the famous one. And then I will return to study. I will interrupt my studies until after I buy what I need, and then when I can divert my attention from my business, I will return to study. If you consider such a thought, you will never merit the crown of the Torah. Period. So, rather make your work secondary, and the Torah study is fixed matter. Do not say when I have free time, I will study, for perhaps you will never have free time. So I know several people. I don't know how many. Several people, younger fellows back. I mean, in their 20s, maybe early 30s, right? Single guys, and we begged them and we tried to send them to yeshiva. Say, no, I don't want to go for 1 week. I don't want to learn this. I don't want to commit to this class, to that class, because I'm going to finish this and going to finish that. And I'm planning to take 6 months and go to Israel or go to this local yeshiva. Maybe I'll take 1 year. Of course, all of them live with their parents, right? So, and guess what? I talked to one maybe a year ago. So and I pressed him, and he was in my house, and he said, you know what, you're right. In 5 years or 6 years, he was planning, pushing away, and guess what? It never happened. So he never learned the Torah every day, in the morning and night. Okay, because he was counting on this yeshiva that Satan and suddenly is going to agree and allow him to go to yeshiva for 1 year, for 6 months, 8 months. Of course not. So, and how do we know? HaShem said, if you plan in that, it's not going to work. How do we know? HaShem guarantees. Let's continue. It's crazy. It's black and white. Very simple. Number 7 from the beginning. Perhaps one will say, commentary, the first clause of this halachah, as the previous halachah, refers to a person who wants to commit himself entirely to Torah study. The second clause, make your work secondary, does not apply only to such individuals, but rather is relevant to every person within context of commitment to the Torah study. So, you have to get some parnasa, right? So just don't make it primary, make it secondary. And even if you have a limited amount of time, and you say that the whole my day is only so I can learn Torah, even that 30 minutes, half an hour, like half an hour, 30 minutes, like 1 hour, whatever, 2 hours. So all of this is only, all of this work, all this commute back and forth only in order to learn this Torah. So this is shows about the person that Torah is primary and all other things and job is secondary, even though like time wise it's not comparable. So one more time, perhaps one will say, I will interrupt my studies until after I got the money, and then I will return and study. So that's about this guy that I just said. It's very sad story. I mean, the guy is not married and he's not learning, and fortunately, I will interrupt my studies until after I buy what I need. Okay. So he wants to buy a house, right? He wants to buy a bigger house, whatever. Like, and then when I can divert my attention from my business, I will return and study. Okay. Good luck. Number 40. In chapter 1, Halachah 5, which counsels studying Torah before marriage. So the yoke of financial responsibility will not interfere with one's study. So basically, but that's what we do. So the person after yeshiva, they go to Israel or they go here to Kollel or something, right? And learn for a year, and then they get married. Some people want to learn 2 years, whatever amount of time his parents can afford, right? So, and then after like he has a strong foundation, now after yeshiva, after all this time, he can go in the world of business and have a profession and marry and have a family. Okay. That's the proper approach. If you consider such a thoughts, meaning that first you want to get settled and have all of the money to live a comfortable life and then study Torah, right? If you consider such a thought, you will never marry the crown of the Torah, right? So HaShem is very, very implicit about it. Commentary. The commentaries have offered 2 reasons why such an individual will never merit the crown of the Torah. So I would say the simple explanation is it's like you said in the conditions for HaShem. Only you told me that I have to learn Torah. That's a primary, but you know what? I have my own reservations. I know better what to do. That's what looks at what this person is saying, right? So let's see, two reasons. A, desire never satisfied. Okay, so he works. He said, okay, maybe I can get even better job. So now he starts studying for exams, and this and that for certification. So he never get to start a study. Desire is never satisfied. Whoever possesses 100 desires 200. Whoever possesses 200 desires 400. It's always, right? Kahelet Rabba 134. Once a person has given this material, once a person has given this material concerns priority over the Torah study, it is very difficult for him to reverse this pattern and devote himself completely to the Torah study. I mean, that's the Torah said you have 100, he wants 200. But okay, but that's what you wanted, right? You wanted 200, that's what you got. No. Now, what is 200? So I'm very poor with 200. I need the 400. It's always like that. So a person have to draw the line and say up to here. Right? I have everything today, so that's it. And B, the time which he lost while involved in the business cannot be recovered, and thus the male never reached the heights of the Torah knowledge that he could have attained beforehand. It's the time is lost when person like he's trying to do business and his mind is a business, and even people they have their own business, or like they think about their job too much, they cannot concentrate on the Torah. So even though this 1 hour, he promised 1 hour I'm going to learn at night. Okay, he's trying, he's there. Is he learning? No, because all of his thoughts and in the business. Also problem. It was 41. Continue. Rather take your work rather make your work secondary. And your Torah study is fixed matter. Okay, 42 commentary. So work is secondary, but as we said, secondary that does not mean that you work as our sages 2 hours or 3 hours a day, and the rest you study Torah. But we don't say that. But even if majority of time you're taking care of your family, you're working, it's still, if your Torah in your mind is primary, it is primary. Commentary number 42. In his commentary to the Mishnah Avos 114, Rambam writes, make your Torah study of primary importance, and all your other affairs secondary. Very simple. If they come your way, it is good. If they not, there is no loss in their absence. Okay. Right? If they come your way, it's good. If not, no loss in their absence. Similarly, in Hilchot Dios 2:7, the Rambam quotes Avos 4:10: minimize your business involvement and occupy yourself with Torah. Nevertheless, a person needs not to fear that involvement in the Torah study will prevent him from achieving prosperity. Just 1 second, let me read one more time. So, Hilchot Dios 1:7, Rambam quotes Perkos 4:10. Minimize your business involvement and occupy yourself with Torah. Right? Minimize as much as you can. So what does it mean? So if your job is required you to work, 40 hours a week, otherwise they're going to fire you. So that's what you must do, but don't volunteer for overtimes. Don't volunteer for overtimes or come on Sunday. Right? Work at the least amount possible. Okay. Nevertheless, a person need not fear that involvement in the Torah study will prevent him from achieving the prosperity. Right? So person might think, okay, I'm studying Torah, but I better work overtime, as we said, right? So I make a time and a half, right? It's good money, and I need money. So he would think that because of the Torah, he's prevented from achieving prosperity. And Brachas 35b relates, the sages of a previous generation made their Torah study primary and their business affairs secondary, and achieve success in both. So we must remember that in order to achieve success in the Torah study, you must study. So it's impossible. So as the Mishnah says, if somebody comes to you and said that I did not study Torah and I achieved success, do not believe him. Or somebody say that maybe it's Perkei de Rabbi Nassan, I think. Or somebody comes and say, okay, I did, what did he say? I did not study Torah, achieve success. Or say, I studied Torah and I did not achieve success. Also do not believe him. But if person comes and say that I studied Torah and I achieved success, we should believe them. Absolutely, 100%. Right? Why? Because it's the Torah depends on you, but HaShem is going to bless it. But with business activities, it depends on HaShem. So it does not matter how many hours you work, and in what field you work. So in every field, you can be very successful. We have made our business affairs primary, and now Torah studies secondary, and we have not achieved success in either. Right? So meaning the businessmen. So I mean they cannot concentrate. I have one class with these people. They cannot concentrate. They think like what they're going to get. They like in their words, it's not numbers. How about all these business affairs? It's like almost lost cause, unfortunately. Okay. So in this case, they're not going to and not achieve success in either, meaning not in business and not in Torah. Okay. Continue. And do not say, when I have free time, I will study, for perhaps you will never have a free time. 43 commentary. In his commentary to the Mishnah, Avos 4.2.5, Rambam also associates this statement with Hillel's statement of Shammai quoted previously. Okay. Right, so he said when I'm going to free time, when I'm going to go to vacation, when I have this day off, that a day off, and then guess what? The day off comes and he does exactly zero. He started exactly zero. Okay, we finished that Halachah. Any questions on what we said? Let's see how long it's. Okay, so it's not long. Okay, so let's do one more. So it's number 8. And it says, it is written in the Torah, Dvarim, chapter 30, verses 12 and 13. It is not in the heavens, and it's not across the sea. This implies that it is not in the heavens, that is, it is not found in a proud spirited. So of course this expression you can explain multiple ways, but that's how Rambam explains. Very interesting. It is not across the sea. That is, it is not found in those who travel across the sea. And interesting. So people busy with protecting the merchandise and stuff like that. They in a plane. It's too crowded, to this, to that. Therefore, our sages said, not everyone who is excessively involved in the business will become wise. Our sages also commanded, minimize your business activities and occupy yourself with Torah. Okay, so let's try to learn, understand what it says here from the beginning with commentaries and explanations. It is written in Dvarim, 30 and verses 12 and 13 commentary. Rav Kabach renders this. It is written about the Torah, emphasizing that according to the Rambam, the antecedent of the pronoun it, and it in above verse of Torah, study, not teshuva, as explained by Rambam and others. Okay, no problem. So it is not in heavens. So Torah is not in heavens. It is not across the sea. This implies that it is not in heavens. That is not found in a proud spirited. So person who is a proud spirited, right, this haughty person, he's not going to learn. He's not going to allow anybody to be his rabbi, to be his teacher, to be his mentor. And of course, he's going to make all of the mistakes possible and go exactly opposite the Torah. Proud-spirited commentary. The self-centered, such is an attitude runs contrary to the spirit of the Torah and ultimately prevents from the grasping it, as explained in following Halachah. So it said that many times Torah is compared to water. So water always go like from the high point to the lowest point. So it does not go opposite usually, right? Unless you push it very hard, right? So when person is humble, the Torah comes to him. naturally, because he's in a lower space, lower level, right? But if he's proud, he's never going to get Torah. Next explanation, and not across the sea. It is not found in those who travel across the sea. For commentary for business purposes. In a contrast, one is advised to travel to study Torah, as Amos relates, exile yourself to the place of the Torah. Right? So for business purposes, I mean, people take time. For example, they go to the business trips, or even they commute to work. It's a perfect opportunity to learn Torah. Whether you drive, you listen to the lectures, or you take even public transportation, so you can read there, or also listen to the lectures, but don't waste the time. You understand? So even those, some people, since it's business purposes, so they don't study at all. In the contrast, one's advice to travel to study Torah. So if you know that, especially in olden days, today we have internet, so there are no borders. But in olden days, yeah. So you want to study Torah, okay? You have to exile yourself to the place of the Torah. You have to go there, even if it's not convenient and not as good as the place where you used to. But in order to study Torah, you have to go there. You have to exile yourself. So that's a different traveling across the sea. So that's a traveling across the sea, which is actually permitted and very advisable. Okay. So continue. Therefore, our sages said, okay, not everyone who is excessively involved. Not everyone who is excessively involved in a business become wise. Okay, sometimes. Many times people think that if somebody have a business or they have money, they're automatically smart. It's not true. It's not true. If HaShem decided to give this person money, he can be not so bright. No problem. They say, so I mean, he would just be bright enough to hire smart people to work for him, and that's it. They're going to run the company. Our sages also commanded, minimize your business activities and occupy with yourself with Torah. As we said, work as less as possible. HaShem is going to bless that amount, and it's going to be enough for you. Okay. In most contexts, this word is rendered as business, thus employing in a blessing implied that the manner in which a person applies himself to the Torah study should resemble a businessman apply himself to the business making in the matter of life of his life. So that's a little different approach, right? Than we used to, but that's also very interesting. So make a Torah your business. So like all of these businessmen, they do whatever they need to do. They sleep, I don't know, only a few hours a day. They want to. They have this startup business. Whatever they invest every single bit of their energy into this business. So they say make a Torah your business. So I also invest a lot into this Torah study. Okay. So let's do maybe one more. We have time for one more. Yeah. So let's do one more and we stop. So number 9. The words of the Torah can be compared to water. As Yeshayahu 55:1 states, behold, all of who are thirsty come to the water. Commentary. Ta'anit 7a mentioned the idea related by Rambam, as well as other dimensions that comparison between Torah and water. Okay. So one of the aspects, as we said, it always goes to the lowest place. This teaches you that just as the water does not collect on an incline, but rather flows from it, right, from incline, and collects in a low place. Similarly, the words of the Torah will not be found in the arrogant and in the hearts of any of the haughty, but rather in the humble and lowly, right? Who sit in the dust of the feet of their sages and remove their desires and pleasures from the times of their hearts. Okay. They do only minimal amount of work each day to earn their livelihood if they have nothing to eat. The rest of their days and nights are involved in with Torah study. Okay, so let's do this piece again and we try to understand. This teaches that teaches you that just as water does not collect to incline, but rather flows and collects in a low place. Similarly, the words of the Torah will not be found in the arrogant or the hearts of any of the haughty. Commentary. There is the nature of such personality does not allow the individual to grasp the words of the Torah. As obvious from the contrast with the humble, pride prevents one from grasping Torah for two reasons. A proud person will be less likely to make effort necessary to open himself up to instruction of the master. As we said, he's a big businessman, big this and big that. There's no respect for other people, right? So for instruction, okay, maybe he might come, he might listen to you, and not follow the instruction. Pride often leads a person to material desire, whose pursuit will take a person away from devotion to the Torah side. As I said, these few people that I know, fortunately, the whole concentration of all what's Gula this is, Gula is that. So I mean, I told them this Gula that you do this, it's exactly like idol worshiper, like one-to-one idol worshiping. Even though they're holy Jewish books, right? But for you made it into idol worshiping. Right, so don't be arrogant, but rather be humble and lowly, who sits in the dust of the feet of our sages. Commentary 52. The Rambam's borrows the phraseology from Avos 1:4 and renders the phrase become dusty by pursuing the sages' feet. Okay, there is found them everywhere. Out of the Torahs to learn from them. So it's one explanation, as I say, you always follows your rabbi and try to learn as much Torah as possible. But another, like straightforward, sit in the dust of their feet. So they would used to sit on the ground. So and you sit literally next to the dust of the feet of your rabbi. Right, so continue and remove desires and pleasures of the times from their hearts. Continue. They do only minimal amount of work each day to earn their livelihood, if they have nothing to eat. Okay, so but otherwise, don't work. 54. Not the narrative from Yom 35b, quoted in the notes, chapter 1, Halachah 8, which describes Hill's daily activity. Right, Hill, he was making 1 coin, half a coin he was spending on yeshiva, and half he would provide for his family. Continue. The rest of the days and nights they are involved with Torah study. 55. Okay, see Halachah 13. So we're going to get to it. So we can stop here. Beezrat HaShem. So we covered a lot of material. Any questions on what we said, or any topic? Actually, we can stop here. Any topic, if you want. Okay.
Yes, hello, Rabbi.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. So, like you said earlier, talking about people have trouble, reading and stuff like that. like myself, I do have, get not I guess bored real easy reading a book. What would be something to help with that? To overcome something like that.
So okay, so it's a very good question. So many people have this issue. Don't think that you're alone in this, especially younger generation. Like they never read the book. So the guy I was talking to, like, he said, "You mean the paper book? You mean the book?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah, exactly. You read that's what we do. We read the books." So, and of course, many people are not used to read the books, and so you start. Personally, Hashem created person that he wants to adapt to anything. So even in a North Pole, if you send any animal, they're going to die. Like normal animals, like from Florida, you send all of the animals to the North Pole, they're going to die. Person is going to survive. Guess what? It's going to be cold, this and that, but it's going to survive, guaranteed, right? So why is that? Because that's how Hashem created people. They can adapt, and we have to use this adaptation. So as we said, all of the people have different talents, and they have the different start, right? Starting point. So you start from little, so you can do half a page to half a page, right? Two paragraphs. Concentrate on 2 paragraphs. That's it. But other things you can do from videos, from listening of the lectures, and that's it. So and then you continue. You get used to after reading half a page for I don't know 2-3 weeks. So your body, your mind is going to get used to. So it's not so much like a time to concentrate on a half a page, and then you come back and read again and again and again a few times. And even people with a low focus, they can concentrate. I mean, how? If you start, of course, you need a study partner. So the best way is to have a study partner. It could be anybody, preferably that this person would be more advanced than you. Of course, that's preferable. But even if it's not, there's also no problem. You can just repeat in your own words what you just read on a half a page. We're not talking about 3 pages on or the whole topic. Try to read with your eyes and say it out loud with your own words. You understand? That's one of the approach, especially to memorize whatever you learn. But otherwise, many people cannot read books. But it's only a matter of practice. You practice, and then your body get used to. Like sometimes you go into the water, right, into the river, right, and it's very cold. It's so cold. You think you don't want to swim. But after sometimes, a few minutes, your body get used, and you swim for half an hour. There is no problem. You understand? That's same as here. You just start with small and increase. Just feel yourself. Like if you're comfortable with this, with half a page, so you increase to 3/4 of the page. You understand? That's the only approach. It's not going to work. There is no magic, there is no trick, there is no pill that you can going to swallow and it's going to work. So you just adapt little by little. Other people, they're just lazy. I don't know, there are people that can swallow books about nonsense. There is no problem. But Torah, half a page, it's that's the laziness. But many people have exactly the same issue. They cannot read books. Okay, that's why Hashem created internet. Well, one of the reasons, right? Okay. Any other questions? Okay, if not, so we stop here, and tomorrow, Beezrat Hashem. Yeah, go ahead. Any other questions?
Yeah, I think somebody put one on the
okay, please,
on the messages.
Please say it.
Is it normal to get very sleepy after eating Shabbos dinner. I always try to be determined on reading Torah, but they get very sleepy.
Of course. Our sages said that the Shabbos was created for the study of the Torah, and the rewards for the study of the Torah literally 1,000 times more than all of the weekdays. So of course the Satan is not going to allow you. Now you're going to get you want to get the reward 1,000 times more. Of course he's not going to allow you. Of course he's going to prevent you from learning, right? So we of course we have our approach. What we do, since we know it's all known, like whatever we study today, I am sure that you heard many of the things many times, but to know about it, and even remember it, and put it into practice, two different things. So same is this. That's an amazing question. So for example, my approach is I never drink wine for Kiddush, Shabbos Kiddush, never ever. Even though it says better, this and that, okay, it's better. I'm going to drink only the grape juice. Understand? But if on the grape juice, otherwise, and don't eat a lot of meat. So meat, especially red meat, it's like a person. Don't overeat. So if person overeats, so of course, as we know, the way the autonomy of the person works, right? All of the blood goes to the stomach, right? From the head to the stomach, from everywhere, to try to digest the food, right? And then the person that does not have enough blood into his brain, he's very sleepy. So what the recommendation is to have alarm clock. That's I also do. And sometimes, especially in the summer when the days are longer, so maybe have 1 hour nap. So, but 1 hour is 1 hour. 1 hour is not 3 or 4 hours. 1 hour nap, just to get refreshed, and then you can study for another 4-5 hours. That's the thing. So first approach: do not eat heavy foods, for sure. Do not drink alcohol. Some people like alcohol for whatever reason, or even wine, even light wine. Don't drink it. Right, and that's it. And then you have the whole afternoon to study. That's the approach that I know that it works. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, no problem. If no questions, so until tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do Halachos of Brachos, Beezrat HaShem. Thank you very much and good night.